se es viernes y el cuerpo lo sabe. It's definitely a Friday. Good morning, happy Friday, happy Vlogtober, day number 6. Happy birthday to my good friend, ride or die, and the gal that I get into good trouble with, AJ. Just wanted to come on here to open up the vlog, and also just my eyes look so tired, and part of that is because I didn't really put on any eye makeup other than like a little bit of like, I did put a little bit of eyeshadow, but I only put on mascara. I'm not wearing eyeliner, and I also forgot my sunglasses, but luckily I'm walking against the sun, hence the sun behind me. But yeah, I do have a dentist appointment today after I drop the kids off at school, and then I also have 2 meetings this afternoon where I will end up, not likely, but where I will be on camera. So I wanted to at least look presentable. Not that sporting your bare face is a bad thing, but for me, I just feel a little more comfortable, a little more put together. I also, I don't know if you could see it, but this is why I don't like white shirts, because you tend to get makeup on them, and that's exactly what happened. So I had started getting ready before putting on my shirt, and after I had already put my BB cream on my face, I thought, shoot, let me put my shirt on before I keep going. And as careful as I was, still managed to get 2 little things of makeup, and when I went to try to clean them, I feel like I made it worse. But it's all good. Like I said, it's Friday, nothing else really going on other than work. Today will be the day that I catch up on all the things I didn't get to yesterday because of my all day being in but out of the office, if that makes sense. You get it, all day retreat. And I was committed to not working late because I also had my friend's event. So there you go. But I hope you all have a wonderful day and that you're having a wonderful week. And I'm gonna get back home, take the kiddos to school, and get the day on. I also forgot to mention that my phone is definitely dying on me. I think it's the charger portal that's not really working anymore. So I've been having to like juice it up every like 5 to 10% because I am on the go right now, like literally like back and forth. But hopefully once I sit at my desk, I can get it to charge up a little more. So here's hope. So I just have my dentist appointment and literally text my boss like, I'm on my way home. So she told me just to give it to 10:05 to meet, thankfully, because yeah, I was like rushing. But just really quick, wanted to come on here. Yo, an abutment, which I'm assuming is like an impression and whatever else the dentist had to go in there and do. Man, that seemed more traumatizing than the implant getting put itself. In case for those of you who don't know, I'm in the process of getting an implant on one of my teeth, and it's like one of my molars. I know, TMI, I'll probably do a little sit down story time with that, because that's its own story in itself. It's basically like a freak accident, but not. It was just over time. But I'll come back on another day with that story. But yeah, that's basically what it was. I've already gone through the implant process. Now it's just the process of getting an actual crown on the tooth, because many people hear implant, they think it's the whole tooth. The implant is like the screw that goes into the gums, which that's already been done. And then you got to go through the process to get the actual crown done to put it over the implant. So that's what that's all about. But I'm gonna go ahead and give my boss a call so we can jump on our one-on-one, and I will come back later. You guys, I promise you, everyone had the same idea in catching up today. Everyone. I went from having nearly a clean inbox to, it is 4:27 p.m. and I have 33 unread emails. And that's all happened within like the last 2 hours, because I've been trying to focus on one thing, trying to focus on another. I get a phone call for something different, a different program from it's been a lot. And nowhere near being done. Nowhere near. So It appears it's going to be a late evening yet again. This entire week has been late evenings, and it's like, this is exactly why I work late evenings other days, so that I don't have to be stuck with all of the things on a different day and avoid the rollover from a prior day, which just creates more work the following day. And when I tell you I'm starting to feel the anxiety, the anxiety is anxietying. I also was hoping to have Monday off, which I totally forgot to confirm with my boss, because we're trying to take our kids to Placerville to, it's called, what's it called? Apple Hill, which initially we had planned to go on the 17th because it's my Monday off, but I guess my sister-in-law can't go on the 17th, so then they moved us up. They wanted us to go on the 9th because we're going as a whole family. But I'm like, oh, I don't know if I could do the 9th. And now I'm feeling really stressed because it's like we already said yes, and I'm over here like I haven't even confirmed that my boss is cool with it. So feeling a little stressed out, y'all. But sitting here talking about it isn't gonna help. So let me get back on it. I don't know what's going on with my computer. It's running so slow. I feel like it does this to me every single day around this time. It's like that 5 o'clock reminder, like it's almost 5, shut it down, but yet doesn't realize that I don't have that option because I need to get stuff done. And yeah. And so now I'm gonna try to finish the 2 things that came through, which were not planned, because I thought I was done with this last week. And I got the phone call with clarifying questions. So it's like, hey, can you, oh, and by the way, can you update that when you have a chance? But for me, have a chance means now. Otherwise, I'm not going to get to it. So yeah, that's how I'm feeling, because everything else keeps getting pushed. I have like all these things that are like, that I need to do yesterday that keep getting pushed to the back burner, and they keep on like, you know what I mean? And that report that I was hoping to work on today, well, I got the report, but guess what? I have all these other things now that I got to get to and finish that I can't focus on the report. And I need that to be done, and that usually takes me 2 to 3 hours. This is why I'm telling you it's probably going to be a late night. Just woosah, woosah. So I'm going to stop, and I'm going to get back to work. Like father, like son. I need to take a note from their book or a page from their book and take a nap. 8:04. And let me tell you, that report I thought that came in today did not. That was an old email from the September one. And it wasn't until I went to download it and save it that I was like, wait, this is 9/1. Did he send me the wrong one? No, I was looking at an old email to when I had pulled up the email this morning to see what time like what day exactly it came in the first time, and I had to open, and for some reason I was thinking, oh, I got a new email. Yeah, no. So I guess in a way that saved me, but the downside is we now wait a couple more days. And I had requested to be off Monday, which means that if I am off on Monday, either A, I have to like lean on a coworker and see if they can possibly help out, or B, it's gonna have to wait, and it's gonna be there for me on Tuesday. So I'm gonna be just as busy on Tuesday. So I guess I'll wait and see what happens. But considering how I just cleared out my inbox and it's 8:04 p.m. Yeah, but you know what? My daughter and I, we're gonna go watch a movie. You wanna know what it is? The Exorcist. Oh my gosh. The older I get, the more of a chicken I become. So literally pray for me. But I'm gonna go change so we can hop on the road and get there. It starts in 5 minutes, but previews usually last 30. So I think we'll be just fine. But I'll definitely come back later with a quick review, not to kill or spill, you know, not to kill the excitement, but I'm sure those of you who, you're either like, you're gonna watch it or you're not. There's only a few folks that are into that type of movie, those type of movies. So I'm sure I'm not gonna be killing it for everybody, and I won't spoil it, but you know, I'll give my honest opinion. How's that? But with that, I'm gonna go put my pups in their kennel so that they can eat and not leave surprises for me when I come home. And yeah, we'll come back later. What's up, you guys? So we made it home. I've been home probably for about 30 minutes or so. The movie wasn't really long. Like it's a good storyline at the beginning, and then it kind of cuts to the chase. So it wasn't like super long and drawn out. I feel like the first one was long, but that could also be because I was a young kid when I watched the first one. But yeah, the movie was pretty good. I wouldn't say it was like super scary, but of course it has its moments. But if you've watched the first one, you kind of already know like sort of what to expect. So it wasn't like exactly like the first, but there's a lot of similarities. In regards to like there's, you know, it's a safe movie. I feel like it's always been safe. I feel like people always say that's like the scariest movie. I'm like, well, if that's the scariest movie, then I guess I'm immune to all the others. But I've watched others that have bothered me for longer. So I could say that we're good. So I would definitely say check it out. If you were a fan of the first one, you're probably going to be a fan of this one. And yeah, so definitely check it out. At this point, I mean, it's almost 11 o'clock, but I also don't have an early morning. I do plan on sleeping in tomorrow. Because I feel like every single Saturday for the last 2 or 3 weeks, I think the last 3 weeks, my kids have had dentist appointments. It started with the cleaning, and then it turned into, oh, they need to come back. And then it turned into, oh, your son, we're only going to do one of the 2 sides because he had like a fill on each side. And it was like back to back to back. And every single time, even though one of them I think was until like 10, it's still that rush in your mind. Like I couldn't just go to the gym because then I'm rushing. It was a whole thing. So I'm going to go ahead and get up off of here. I'm going to clean my kitchen. I'm going to wipe down all my counters. I'm going to sweep and mop. And when I say sweep, I'm talking Dyson vacuum. I'm going to go ahead and get up off of here. I've chatted enough, but I kind of feel like I'm making up for the fact that I had like nothing to talk about all day because I was so busy. So with that said, oh, real quick. The other night I was driving through town and I saw the festival that was coming to town this week. And then I've been living under a rock. Part of the reason why I'm living under a rock is because we no longer have cable. So if I catch the news, it's because I'm watching it via online. And typically it requires me having to either be on my phone or pull out my laptop. And when I'm on my work laptop, I don't feel like carrying around my home laptop. You know what I mean? So it's one of those, it's just a lot. So unless I'm working in my room where it's easy and accessible, there you go. And because my phone's been messing up with battery and all this crazy life of my phone, I don't watch it on my phone. So plus I'm on my phone too much to have it drained by watching the news. So unless I'm just like getting ready and it's right there. But anyway, so I'm living under a rock and I had no idea the festival was coming, but it's here. And I realized that because there was like, there's an Airbnb house in the neighborhood. And I saw that they were like, yeah, are you ready to go? We're getting ready to go. Like I could hear the conversations happening, and they were like blasting, not in a super loud, I mean, it was decent work hours. It was work hours, so, but it's like a decent time to have music on. It's not that past, 10 o'clock time frame. And they were blasting their rock music. So it's confirmed that the festival's happening and people are festivaling, and that's all good. I'm just not about the rock life. I'm about this life though. And it's so funny. Yesterday I met a gal at the event I was at. I've never met her before. But she was mentioning that she was gonna go, she was heading out, like she was leaving the event already. And she's like, yeah, I'm gonna kind of like hurry and kind of like skedaddle. She didn't say skedaddle, I'm just using that term of word here. Anyway, she was saying that she was getting ready to go, and she had another meetup with a couple of friends. And I was like, oh, okay, that's awesome. She's like, yeah, I dance, so I'm gonna go dance. I was like, oh, what kind of music? And she goes, I shuffle. And I said, wait a minute, like shuffle, like EDM shuffle? And then she's like, she looks at me, because I'm in a professional setting. I come off very, like, I'm sure my age, like they're not gonna expect I'm talking about EDM and Plur life. And she's like, yeah. And I said, wait, are you Plur? And she's like, yeah. And I'm like, oh my God, me too. So it's just so funny. I love especially when you find a fellow, you know, EDM fan, someone that knows about the Plur life, and they look at you like, what? And you're almost like this, like, don't talk about it, because it's weird, because I think really the stigma behind it is because people tend to go to these events and they're like high on like other things aside from life, and they just assume that if you're part of that you're doing the same thing, and that's not necessarily like the case. And that's the thing that's kind of like, it sucks, because I felt that fear. Like, I remember a few years or a few months back, I was talking about it at work, and one of the girls goes, oh, you like going to like festivals and stuff? And I was like, yeah. She's like, oh my God, I would love to go to one day. Let me know. And I'm like, I was trying to change the subject so quick. And then I think back, I'm like, is it ourselves making it weird that we assume? Because perhaps it's like, we don't have to be guilty by association. Like, we could be there just high on life, you know? So anyways, what I'm saying is, let's normalize EDM culture. Let's normalize festivals, and not everybody there is getting high or doing all the things. I have heard that now that it's becoming a little more mainstream, especially like EDC. I didn't go to EDC this year, but I did hear that it seems like there's people that don't necessarily go for the vibes, but go for ill intent. Like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, they have ill intent. So like, one of my friends that went said he got pickpocketed, and like, that was his first time ever going to EDC. So it kind of was a turnoff. But I was like, what? Like, that's crazy. But I've heard about it like through other people. So I'm not like super festival goer. Like, I haven't been to so many just until recently. I feel now that my kids are older. But it's, you know, it's kind of sad, because it's like, well, now that I'm like ready and I can actually go and enjoy, or take my kids with me, or whatever the case, like, darn. But hopefully, you know, it evens out, because you also have to put things into perspective. Like, we are also post-COVID. People are just out there. They're trying to be out there. And unfortunately, other people know that people are out there, and they, you know, they figure, well, I could come up and go for the wrong reasons. But let's hope that that's not something that'll continue, and it'll even its way out. But again, let's also normalize, like I said, festivals, and not have to feel nervous when people find out that you do. So anyway, say all that to say that yay Aftershock. It's definitely a great economic development experience for the local economy, for sure. So it's a win there. But let's also hope that they could perhaps bring an EDM festival here locally. Now, that would be wonderful, wouldn't it? But hey, why not? I mean, they're already doing like one-off events at this place called the Rail Yards. Why not just turn it into a whole big festival, right? So who knows? Maybe. Anyways, I'm gonna stop talking. I've now officially, I think, branched off into my normal longer, drawn out videos. So I'm gonna go ahead and let y'all go. Have a wonderful night. I hope that you have a wonderful weekend ahead, and thank you so much for watching. Make sure to hit the like button. Make sure to comment down below. Are you about that EDM Plur family life? Let me know. Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and stop talking. Have a good night. Bye.